session. I hope you're all safe and well. For today's story time, we're going to read together 5 Minutes Peace. I thought some mummies and daddies might like this story this week. It's by the author Jill Murphy, and she's one of my favourite authors. We've read some of her stories in school. Can you remember which ones we've read? If you can, send me a message and let me know which one is your favourite as well. Okay? So go and grab yourself a nice drink, get comfy, and let's start our story. The children were having breakfast. This was not a pleasant sight. Look at all that mess. I bet Mummy and Daddy aren't impressed with all that mess. Mrs. Large took a tray from the cupboard. She set it with a teapot, a milk jug, her favourite cup and saucer, a plate of marmalade toast, and her favourite cake from yesterday. She stuffed the morning paper into her pocket and sneaked off towards the door. She wants 5 minutes peace. Where are you going with that tray? Asked Laura. To the bathroom, said Mrs. Large. Why? Asked the other two. Because I want 5 minutes peace away from you lot. That's why, said Mrs. Large. Can we come? Asked Lester as they trailed up the stairs behind her. No, said Mrs. Large. What shall we do then? Asked Laura. You can play, said Mrs. Large, downstairs by yourselves, and keep an eye on the baby. I'm not a baby, said the little one. They're all following her, aren't they? Mrs. Large ran a deep hot bath. She emptied half a bottle of bath foam into the water, plonked on her bath hat and got in. She poured herself a cup of tea and lay back with her eyes closed. It was heaven, said Mrs. Large. Oh, that looks like a nice bath, doesn't it? Can I play you my tune? Asked Lester. Mrs. Large opened one eye. Must you? She asked. I've been practising, said Lester. You told me I can. Please, just for 1 minute. Go on then, sighed Mrs. Large. So Lester played. He played Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star 3.5 times. Poor Mrs. Large is not getting any peace, is she? In came Laura. Can I read you a page from my reading book? She asked. No, Laura, said Mrs. Large. Go on, all of you, off downstairs. You let Lester play his tune, said Laura. I heard you like him better than me. It's not fair. Oh, don't be silly, Laura, said Mrs. Large. Go on then, just 1 page. So Laura read. She read 4.5 pages of Little Red Riding Hood. She's still not getting any peace, is she? In came the little one with a trunk full of toys. For you, he beamed, flinging them all into the bathwater. Thank you, dear, said Mrs. Large weakly. Do you think she wanted those toys in her bath? I don't think she did. Can I see the cartoons in the paper? Asked Laura. Can I have the cake? Asked Lester. Can I get in with you? Asked the little one. Mrs. Large groaned. Oh, poor Mrs. Large. In the end, they all got in. The little one was in such a hurry that he forgot to take off his pyjamas. Oh dear, he's in the bath with his clothes on. Mrs. Large got out. She dried herself, put on her dressing gown and headed for the door. Where are you going now, Mum? Asked Laura. To the kitchen, said Mrs. Large. Why? Asked Lester. Because I want 5 minutes peace from you lot, said Mrs. Large. That's why. Do you think they're going to follow her? Shall we have a look? And off she went downstairs, where she had 3 minutes and 45 seconds of peace before they all came to join her. She still didn't get 5 minutes, did she? The end. Poor Mrs. Large didn't get a single break, did she? I hope you enjoyed that story, guys. I hope you have a lovely weekend, and I'll see you next week for some more videos. Take care.